Despite all the victories of the pro life movement, according to research from the Guttmacher Institute, the number of abortions last year actually slightly increased. So, is all this anti abortion legislation even making a difference? Well, Christina Bennett from Live Action joins us now. Christina, how is this happening?
Well, first, I want to say that this is very tragic to see, especially for those who have fought to see Roe versus Wade overturned. And seeing this data, I can understand how people could feel hopeless. It's happening because of a number of reasons. One reason is people are crossing from states where there are abortion bans into states where there are not abortion bans. And this is being encouraged by Planned Parenthood. This is being encouraged by the abortion industry. They're even paying for women to cross state lines. I spoke at a pregnancy center banquet, I think it was last year, and a woman told me that she actually witnessed an abortion worker walking out of a building with a client, and she said, "Here's your money." And she witnessed this person getting money to go cross state lines and to get an abortion. And so this is happening by the thousands. And this is one of the main reasons that we're seeing an increase, because people are crossing state lines. States are encouraging it. And in addition to that, the abortion pill. The
Wait,
abortion pill
wait.
is now,
That concept is just hard to believe that, like you said, the abortion industry, that there's people
yes.
that not only reluctantly, oh, like, but actually want this to happen. And let me read you one statistic. So, how many babies were deleted in the mother's womb in 2024? I thought very naively, 70,000, 90,000. According to this research, 1,038,000. 1,038,000 babies were deleted in the womb. As someone who basically dedicates her life to this, how does that make you feel?
I could cry because I myself was scheduled to be aborted. That's how I got into doing pro life work. In college, I found out that my mom had walked out of her abortion appointment with me because the janitor helped to save my life. She had talked to her when she was in the hospital, and she said, "Do you want to have your baby?" And my mom said yes. And she said, "God will give you the strength." And so my mom had the courage to leave, even when the abortionist told her, "You have to stay." And so when I think about that number, I always think to myself, God, I could have been a statistic. I could have been a number, because we can't imagine the faces, the destiny, the purpose, the calling of all of those people. It's just this sterile number, and the number is shocking. But then when you break it down and you think about every person, like myself, one person that would have been counted among a huge number like that, never to see their face, never to live, to get married, to go to college, to have a family, it's just stunning. It's horrific. It's a genocide.
So when you mentioned the overturning of Roe versus Wade, let me phrase this question. Let's say my friend here is watching and they care deeply about the lives of the unborn, and they say, well, Roe versus Wade was overturned. All these states are passing all this legislation. The Baby Act. Correct me. Give me the name of it. Where you have to watch and learn about fetal development is passing in all these states.
Oh, baby Olivia.
Baby Olivia, that's the one.
Mhm.
And so all these amazing things are happening for the pro life movement, and yet we're seeing not much advancement. So I guess my question is for my friend here who's watching at home, who really wants to make a difference, what should we do?
Do not lose hope. You have to be committed to this for the long run. This is not an overnight fight. It took us close to 50 years to see Roe versus Wade overturned. I myself, I'm 43 years old. I started doing pro life work right out of college. And so I have been in this movement for close to 20 years, and there's no sign of stopping. I mean, I will be fighting for life for as long as God has me on this earth. So you cannot lose hope. If you look at the abolitionists of old, even when slavery was overturned, there were actually still some people who were enslaved. That's why people celebrate Juneteenth. That's why we celebrate Juneteenth, because there were people in Texas that didn't even know that they were free. And so abolitionists of old, Harriet Tubman, Frederick Douglass, Sojourner Truth, they had to be committed for their entire life, knowing that when you have a government that allows for such horrific evil, it takes a long time to unravel it, especially when people are committed and dependent upon something. So In the times of slavery, they were dependent upon using human beings for labor. But now women have become dependent upon the abortion clinic. They think that they need to have an abortion as a means to success, as a means to finishing school, as a means to keeping a relationship, keeping a job, keeping housing. And so they're dependent upon it. The abortion pill accounts for over 60% of abortions. And that's become like marijuana, to be honest.
Mm.
So even though it's illegal in certain states, people are sending it through the mail, people are stockpiling it, people are giving it to their friends. And so it's become something that is just widespread. And that's why we really have to work to change the hearts and the minds, because
Mm.
people have a lot of access and they're very comfortable with something that they think is just a pill. I've had women tell me it's just a pill, or I'm just removing a clump of cells. And so I would say do not lose hope and know that there are still lives being changed and saved every single day. And it's worth it, even for the one. There's a lot more than one. Even Florida, when they banned abortion, they've seen at least 12,000 lives that have been saved. So there's a lot more than one. But even for the one, this work is worth it.
Beautifully said. Christina, God bless you, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you so much.